Okay, in this video, you're going to focus on finding a book that is both within your ZPD and takes place in a culture that is different than your own. And in order to do this, here's the directions. You're going to use the AR Book Finder. Then you need to make sure the book is available either at the school library or available at the public library and you can go get it, or it's available at Amazon and you can go buy it. How you get the book is kind of up to you, but you need to get it. And you need to make sure the book is both within your ZPD and takes place outside your culture. So here's an example of what I mean by this. You're going to open up that ZPD book number 2 sheet. On that ZPD book number 2 sheet, questions 3, 4, and 5 are what you're going to fill out when you do this step. So the first question is, what book do you want to read? This question might take the longest of any of these steps. Here's what I would do. I would go to AR Book Finder. So if you type AR Book Find, you'll be led to AR Book Finder. And there's also a link that I'll add onto the step here in just a second. Ta-da! There it happened. Okay, so when I go to AR Book Find, the thing you want to click on is Advanced Search. This is going to allow you to tailor your results a little more specifically to you. So right down here, it says ADOS book level. What you should do is enter the range of your ZPD. And in this case, you can use the whole range of your ZPD. The last one you needed to do is the upper end, but because the topic I'm trying to get you to select is so specific, and because the thing you're reading about is probably going to be way less familiar to you, you can use the whole range of your ZPD. So I'm going to say mine is like 7 through 13. That's the range of my ZPD. You got to select an interest level. Now, I would pick something in the middle grades plus, or upper grades. And you could try redoing searches with all these different combinations. So the first and most basic way to do it is just pick one category. Then under additional criteria right here, select fiction and just hit go. Now for middle grades, what I've come up with are 407 results. So you could try to start looking through these results and seeing if you can find something that's going to be outside your culture. That's a lot of results. You might want to narrow it down. So here's what you could do. Back here on the advanced search, so I enter my grade levels, 7 to 13, my interest level, middle grades. Remember, you can pick any interest level you want. It doesn't matter. Fiction. Now check this out. Additional criteria. You have all these different topics. Now some of the topics are going to not really lead you to different cultures outside your own. Some of them might though. A lot of times you might pick award winners. If your culture is fairly lines up with like mainstream American culture, then award winners a lot of times fall outside of mainstream American culture. People who give out awards tend to like books like that, as they should. Canadian content, that's weird, but might work, I don't know. All these different things, classics are going to take place in probably a culture that's totally different from yours because it probably took place a long time ago. Community life, perhaps. Continents, I'm going to go down to one that might be helpful. Our family life. Read through these carefully and think about, could this lead me to finding a book in the culture that's outside my own? One that I thought was pretty great was either people or places. Let's say if I clicked people, then you can click subtopics, and there's all these different categories of people. Chimney sweeps. That's crazy. How is there a category book about chimney sweeps? I don't know. I don't sweep chimneys. I don't know anybody that does sweep chimneys. Maybe this could help me find a book about a culture outside my own. Chimney sweeps. Go. Oh, bummer. There's nothing in my ZPD and at my maybe there's something in the middle grades plus. No. Maybe for upper grades? No. No. Okay. Maybe though, if I said, now, cultures, let's see. I don't know. Jewish culture? I'm not gonna lie, like, I have a couple Jewish friends, but I don't interact in Jewish culture on a daily basis. Jewish people. Let's find out. Go. Do I get anything? Kapow! I got 10 books I could pick from. These are books about Jewish people. This would be great for me to read. I get total exposure to a different culture and have a book inside my ZPD. So after you have selected your book, you're going to go back to what book do you want to read? You're going to type in the name of your book. I'm going to pause and I'm going to find mine. Kapow! I just found mine. Okay, so I'm going to read a book called The White Boy Shuffle. And this is the little write-up of the book. The way I kind of figured this was outside of my culture is that Gunnar Kaufman, an awkward black surfer bum, moves from Santa Monica to urban West Los Angeles begins to undergo a startling transformation from neighborhood outcast to basketball superstar. This does have some stuff that might not be totally school appropriate. I'm going to go ahead and say this book probably exists outside the culture I exist in on most days. I think it's going to be a good choice. Also, I have read it before because I'm a person who has read books. But you're not picking a book you've read before, probably. What's the BL of the book according to the AR Bookfinder? BL is 7.2. That's within my culture, or my ZPD, sorry. And then why does this book have to do with a culture that is different from your own? Ask question 5. Explain in about a paragraph. And you can use those factors from up here as you explain. Do you have to use all of them? No. Should you use some of them? Yes. Let's see what I can come up with. Okay, I thought really hard about it. Here's what I came up with. Oh my gosh, I typed so fast. I wrote this a while back. So here's what I said. I said the White Boy Shuffle sounds like it would have to do with a culture outside of my own for several reasons. I would probably start with an argument like that. One reason is the main character is a black guy. Well, this doesn't mean our cultural experiences will be totally opposite. It does mean that it will probably be at least somewhat different in terms of the way society, media, and in certain situations, law enforcement treats us. Also, the main character is a surfer bum. Well, I've been surfing before. I've never been anywhere close to a committed enough to be considered a surfer bum. This is someone like dedicates their life to surfing. Also, the main character moves from Santa Monica, and if I don't know where that is, maybe I'd go Google it and I would figure out that it's a really rich area of California right next to the ocean, to urban Los Angeles. This means like in the ghetto in Los Angeles. Both of these places are pretty different than the town of Snohomish I live in. I have a feeling this book will have to do with a culture that's outside of my own, and this validates that. I got my book picked. Now I'll go up to share. Anyone with a link, make sure I said can comment, Control C to copy, go back to the post, tap Control V on your keyboard, paste it into your post, and submit it. I'll let you know what we got.